Troy Bakewell here, Indie Gear Solutions, and today I thought I'd shoot a quick video showcasing our RED camera packages for you. I've been meaning to do this video for quite a while, but I haven't had a chance. But today I happen to be wrapping a show, and I have two cameras in my hotel room that are rigged slightly differently. Most of our packages are rigged identically or very, very similar, but these two cameras are rigged differently, so I thought I'd take this opportunity and shoot a video for you so you can get a feel for how they're set up. Alright, so we'll start with this camera over here. First thing you'll notice is that all the cameras come with O'Connor sticks and a head. I take that back. Some of the packages have some Ronford sticks, but I'm a big believer in the 150mm bowl over the Mitchell. It's just my personal preference because it's faster to level. And in my opinion, these newer cinema cameras are lighter than old 535Bs with 1,000-foot mags and stuff like that. So I think the 150 bowl is plenty secure. Most of them come with the Cine sticks or the Ronfords with these 2060 heads. The 2060 HD heads, which in my opinion are the perfect head for the RED camera package. Even with the biggest zoom on the planet, these heads handle this camera no problem at all. The larger 2575 series, in my opinion, are just too big and too bulky. They were needed back in the day with the big heavy film cameras, but not so much anymore. In addition to the 2060 HDs, I also have a couple of the 1030s, mainly for B cameras in some instances, and some DPs just prefer them over these big heavy sticks. I personally love the heavy 2060 head and these sticks, and of course there's O'Connor. They're buttery smooth. They're an industry standard in Hollywood for a reason. They're just awesome. All the cameras come with an ARRI MB20 3-stage matte box with, not pictured here, top flag and an eyebrow and side flags as well. There are 3 stages with 4x5 filter sets, and of course all cameras come with an ND filter and a polarizer filter. I have a couple sets of diffusion filters as well, but you have to add that to your package. I'll usually do it free of charge if just let me know what you're looking for. Over here, I switched the matte box on this camera to the clip-on Tilta matte box. Some guys prefer the Tilta matte box, or the clip-on matte box is smaller and lighter. Depends on what your preference is. So that is available and actually comes with every camera package as well, a Tilta matte box. The downside with the Tilta, it's 3 stages as well, but it does not have rotating stages. So it makes it a little bit more difficult using a polarizer. Although I think I'm starting to add the Rotopolas from the Nissi company. They're pretty great polarizers. All the cameras come with wooden camera set top plates and bottom plates with 19mm rails. There's a slight difference. Some of the older cameras have these wooden camera heads where the main monitor comes out the right side of the camera, and like over here I've gone to these pass-through plates where there's an actual LEMO adapter out the front. So there are minor little variations. All the cameras come with a EVF and a 7-inch touch monitor along with a backup monitor as well. Most of them have this newer DSMC2 eyepiece, but some of them I still have a couple of the old bombs laying around as well, so make sure you notice. But generally they come with this newer eyepiece, and the backup or the B camera will come out with the bomb EVF. Additionally, this is the other difference that some of the cameras have, is most of them have these wooden camera D boxes, which are awesome. They allow for multiple P-tap outs. But in recent years I've been switching, I shouldn't say recent years, the last couple packages I've gone with these RED V-mount expanders versus the base expander modules, and I'm adding this IDX plate which has a ton of P-taps as well. So that's one of the primary differences between the camera packages. This one, the ones with the wooden camera D boxes have Anton Bauer receivers with this adapter to take V-mount plates. I'm a big believer in having a ton of media and a ton of bricks. So all the cameras come with tons of batteries and tons of media, enough to shoot all day without having to charge your batteries, although I don't recommend that, and all day without having to offload any media if needed. I'm going to flip the camera around here. All the camera packages come with Paralinx Tomahawk wireless video villages with 2 receivers, so 1 transmitter, 2 receivers. I'm a huge fan of these. In my experience, they work the best. They're less glitchy. They don't have to be rebooted all the time, and they're rock solid. The traditional receiver without the, what do they call it, the array antenna is pretty damn good, and I put that on the 17-inch monitors, which you have to look to the gear list for the monitors, but all cameras come with a 17-inch monitor for like your focus puller, and then a bigger monitor for like Video Village with an array antenna, and I have in my experience, they're the most rock solid setup that I've seen. All of the cameras, although the one on my right doesn't have it right now, come with the Sidekick, so you can control the camera from the side. Some people prefer that. The camera to my right, which I'll show you here in a second, didn't have that because they just acquired it and haven't had a chance to put it on yet. When I first started out, I put for the follow focus, I started off with the Latitude by RT Motion, and they are rock solid. They're spectacular. So about half the cameras have the RT Motion, and the other half have the Nucleus M follow focus, which, as you might know, is a much less expensive unit, but in my opinion is just as rock solid. So I quit buying the Latitudes because to me it was just a waste of money. This Nucleus M is rock solid in my opinion. So that's a basic rundown of the camera packages. They're all very, very similar with minor differences. Incidentally, these are the Sony Cine-Alta lenses. They're the T2 primes. I absolutely love these lenses. The mechanics are great. They're sharp, but they also have some character to them. In addition, I have a set of the Sigma Cine Primes, PL mount obviously, as well. But anyway, give me a call in terms of glass, but all the packages come with lenses, a set of these Cine-Altas. And they're very, very usable lenses, and I think they're great. I actually would take them over Ultra Primes in my opinion. Not Master Primes, but Ultra Primes. They don't breathe. I love the way they flare, and I think they're just better lenses overall. But that's just my opinion. Anyway, that gives you a feel for the camera packages and what they look like, how they're configured. They're all very, very similar. Again, this one will have a what do you call that? Sidekick added for the next show. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and again, a better one will be coming shortly, and let me know what you think. If you have any questions, feel free to give me a call or shoot me a text anytime. Thanks. So I finished shooting the video and realized after I put all the cameras away that I forgot to mention which Reds we have. So anyway, all of them but two are 8K Helium Super 35 cameras. These are the full weapons without the limitation of frame rates, like the Epic Ws, for example. So you can use HDRX in any frame rate. They shoot up to 60 frames a second at full 8K resolution. The other two cameras are, of course, the Geminis. A lot of people like the Geminis. I personally prefer the 8K Helium, mainly because having that 8K sensor allows you to do so much in post. And you're shooting fast on a low-budget movie. The ability to crop in from a medium shot or even a cowboy and get a close-up in post sometimes saves your bacon. It just gives you more creative alternatives than when you get into post. The Gemini is more light sensitive. I mean, you can practically see in the dark. But in my opinion, you're going to light the movie anyway. And 8K, the helium sensor is pretty darn good low light as well. Not as good as the Gemini, but pretty darn good. So I have both those options if you want. Incidentally, I'm a huge believer in Red cameras. I just thought I'd throw this out there, mainly for their patent that they have on the compressed RAW. The RD3 files that these cameras spit out are freaking awesome, and the files are relatively small. Smaller than ProRes actually, and you can do so much with them in post. So in my opinion, when you're shooting a movie for 3 or 4 weeks or sometimes less versus 3 or 4 months like Hollywood would shoot, you're working fast. You sometimes don't have a full DIT color grader on set, and you can just shoot quickly, and all of that information is metadata you can change in post. You can change the ISO, you can change the color balance from anything. Nothing is baked in with Red, and to me that's a huge advantage. So if it were my movie and I was shooting with $100,000 or more, I'm going to pick the Red camera every single time. That's just my opinion though, so I thought I'd share it. Anyway, sorry I forgot to mention it in the video, and thanks for watching.